Howdy folks, greetings. Now today I want to talk about this proposal for the 3-year visas for 18 to 30 year olds. Your normal rags have been out, haven't they, going, oh, it's a betrayal of Brexit, this isn't what we voted for, all the usual rubbish. And I just really want to try and understand what the actual objection is. And I think it's just having your feelings hurt a little bit if you voted for Brexit, that it might be something close to freedom of movement, even though if you actually bother to take the time to look into what they're proposing, it's nothing like freedom of movement in any way, shape or form. But I think this is the problem. Most of these guys, a hell of a lot of people will read that title, that headline from the Daily Mail, and they'll go, it's a betrayal of Brexit, and then just slunk back in their chair and not really look into it anymore, not do any research into the topic, not look into what they're actually trying to do. Because there's no objections. I'm trying to get my head round to who actually objects to this. This is only a net plus for the UK. So they want to grant 3-year visas for anyone in the EU between the ages of 18 and 30 that want to come and work or study in this country. A win-win. You know, the usual objections from Brexit voters will be, oh, it's a burden on public services, it'll be a burden on the NHS. 18 to 30 year olds. 18 to 30 year olds, not your best demographic for using the NHS, really, is it? And more likely, the majority of them are actually going to be working in our NHS, you know, providing healthcare for our pensioners. It's stupid. I'm talking to pensioners. Oh, well, when they grow up, you know, it's all right having all these workers come in, but eventually they'll grow up, they'll need pensions. 18 to 30 won't need pensions. And to be honest, if they were paying in all that time, taxes all this time anyway, they've paid for their pension by the end of it anyway, regardless. So, I mean, where are the objections? I just don't understand where the objections come. We know that university brings in a massive revenue for this country, for people that study from abroad, that come and study here. We know this has a massive plus to our economy. So where is the objections? Right, I'm just going to park here, chaps, because chaps and ladies, of course, because I've just got to deliver something, because I do actually work. You know, I don't just aimlessly just drive around Brighton. I do actually have work to do, so give me 2 seconds. Right, there we go, we're back. So what we were talking about Brexit, weren't we? And herein lies the problem, really, with Brexit as a whole. You know, you hear this phrase quite a lot, don't you? This wasn't the Brexit we voted for. But everyone had their own version of Brexit. There is not one version of Brexit. So when are you ever actually going to be happy? Because everyone has a different idea. I mean, if you go back to what the Leave campaign back in the day were promoting, you know, these were the key things that they wanted to get across. Trade would be exactly the same. The border in Northern Ireland will be exactly the same. Trade deals on day one. You know, all these things. You know, lower immigration. So, you know, we're out. And you've got none of this stuff. And every single person's different version of Brexit. You know, back when Farage was starting out on this campaign, he was all in favour of a Norwegian style Brexit, where we stay in the customs union, get all the benefits of trading with Europe, but just not inside. That's one version of Brexit. You can have your hardcore, don't want anything to do with Europe, you know, human rights, all that stuff, all that gone. And there's like a million different options in the middle. So what is Brexit? That is the question. What is Brexit? What is your version of Brexit? What is the Brexit that we're supposed to have? And in my opinion, the Brexit that we're supposed to have is one that best represents the vote, the close nature of the vote, the 48% to the 52%, and being as close to Europe but still being outside as possible, staying in the customs union, doing things like this, which make obvious sense. What better way to start sorting out some of the problems that we have in our NHS, some of the massive labour shortages. Speak to anyone that works in the NHS. It's such a massive problem, and Sorry, someone's just having an argument next to me. You know, what better way to try and solve this straight away by making it really easy for European nurses to come over and work for 3 years? You know, it just makes sense. All these things just make sense, don't they? Getting back with customs union. It doesn't matter what style of Brexit, whatever style of Brexit you put out there, it will not please some people. And people that are just getting upset about this are just, they're just basically, their feelings are hurt. That's basically what it comes down to. They're a little bit upset because, you know, this might not be something that they wanted, but millions of people out there do want. And, you know, I don't have the pure facts and figures, but when you look at opinion polls ever since the Brexit referendum, you know, I think if you'd done a new Brexit poll today, or a Brexit vote, or a Brexit referendum to stay or to try and go back into the EU, I reckon it would be about 70-30 now in favour of going back in the EU. I really do. I've got no evidence to back that up. It's just purely my opinion, but just by opinion polls, by talking to people, it only really seems to be the extreme hardcore Brexiteers that are still want this. But at the end of the day, it boils down to, would they even have us back in the first place, really? That's the biggest challenge. Anyway, that's enough. What are your thoughts? Is this any way, shape or form? Why are the usual rags like the Daily Mail trying to shape this? Do they think like it's like a first step in the stepping stones to going back to freedom of movement? I don't know, but this obviously makes sense. It obviously makes sense. And the thing that we don't talk about is it works both ways, as with freedom of movement in the first place. You know, my son now has access to work, study anywhere in Europe for 3 years. That's only an amazing, fantastic experience that a young person can have. Anyway, folks, till next time. If you like the video, click a like. If you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe up top. There'll be another video. You can check that out as well. Till next time, take care. It's so cool that they're filming something in this old, like, 80s, what is it, Ford Escort or something, on the back of this trailer. They've got bright green modern Bentley right next to it. It's alright, they're not picking up that. Is it? No, it's a Vauxhall. Is it a Vauxhall Cavalier? Oh my god, my dad used to have one of them. Not a convertible then. That's not the dude from Game of Thrones, is it?